Hey, what is going on YouTube? What is going on Tennessee fans? I'm going to bring you guys a video and I'm going to step a little bit on some people's toes and I'm going to get up on my soapbox for a minute because I'm kind of tired of hearing all the talk about Holly Warlick and, it's time to get rid of her and she's not doing a good enough job as the Lady Vols head coach. And you know what? I'm calling baloney on all y'all. Baloney. You know what? She is doing a great job. She had a team full of young talent this year. She had, four freshmen. One of them got SEC sixth woman of the SEC this year. Mercedes Russell, Jamie Nard, they played tough all this season, our senior leadership that we're going to be losing. But you know what? She's done a heck of a job, taking over for, probably the greatest coach in women's basketball, other than that guy over at UConn. But yeah, you know what? Pat Summitt was incredible, and her, getting Alzheimer's and having to step down back in 2012 when Holly took over the Lady Vols program. You know what? I applaud her for stepping up because there weren't a lot of people that could step into that role behind Pat Summitt and everything that she has done for that program. 8 national championships. One of the best records ever in college basketball, men's and women's. And Holly has done a great job. And seeing your best friend. My grandma was diagnosed with Alzheimer's a couple years ago, and she actually passed away 2 years ago. And just seeing her go downhill so quickly, that tore at your heart. And I know Pat and Holly, they were like sisters. Holly played for Pat back in the 80s. And she was, her inspiration. Pat was, her mentor, her colleague, her best friend. And watching her just go downhill, that had to be tough on her. And she still struggles with that. You got to know that she still struggles with that every single day. And then living in Pat Summitt's shadow, still tough, even 6-7 years down the road. Especially after Pat passed away just a year ago. And you know what? She's done a great job. I mean, her record right now, this season they went 25-8, which was tied for 4th in the SEC. They were 11-5 in the SEC, and they played some pretty tough teams. South Carolina, they're like ranked number 2 in the nation, and a lot of tough teams. SEC play has gotten a lot tougher. Teams have caught up. People don't realize that teams in the SEC have caught up to Tennessee and UConn in basketball. I mean, it's no longer just this parity. Of course, UConn's killing it this year. But there's no longer this huge gap anymore between these teams. These teams have stepped up, and they're playing ball, and they're being competitive. But, they lost, their first home game, like 57 games or whatnot the other night to Oregon State. Okay, so what? They're out of the tournament in the second round. Okay. Her overall record is 153-54. That's a .739 record. That's almost 75% winning record. She's 13-6 in NCAA tournaments, and she's 9-5 in SEC tournaments. So you know what? You guys need just to back off Holly. Let her do her job. She's got like the number 3 recruiting class coming in this season. And you know what? She's going to be fine. She's going to step it up. And the Lady Vols are going to be back in action here in a minute in this next season. But anyway, that's just my thoughts. I'm going to step off my soapbox, and this is Honest Abe signing off.